Good afternoon, everybody. It's Kathy. How are you? Um, or the last time I was on, I was talking about COVID and how COVID has changed us during this time, and I kind of touched upon the little things that maybe that you learned about yourself, and possibly wanting to do more with our lives post COVID of the things that we enjoyed before. And originally today I was going to come on and talk about how to raise our vibration and how to keep our energies up. But then sadly enough, this week I found out that 3 people on Thursday passed away. I've had 9 people in total that I know personally that have died over this since COVID began. Now, 5 of those people did die from COVID, and they were elders, but the 4 people that 4 of the people that passed away, one was my cousin a few weeks back. He died in Barbados, but he died of it was diabetes. And 2 of the people this week on Thursday that died on Thursday were from our church. We've had 3 people now from our church pass away. One died a few weeks back of COVID, and now these other 2 people were critically ill. Nothing to do with COVID, but it what really kind of really struck me on Thursday, because one of the people that passed was young. Well, I call her young. She was in her mid-40s. She's younger than me. She's left behind a daughter, and that really, really shocked me. It really shocked me to hear that this beautiful spirit is gone. It felt like so close to home, because I know her. I don't know her intimately, but I know her just from being in our congregation and just talking to her. And then the other lady that passed was an elder in our church as well. She was in the choir. And I guess I wanted to talk today about the sorrow that's out there. There's sorrow during this time. There's sorrow in the air. When COVID started, we all had to shift ourselves rapidly. It was a rapid shift. And as the weeks went on, we realized that, what was sorrowful was the fact that, we weren't able to do the things we did before. We weren't able to congregate. We weren't able to work. We weren't able to, be with family. We weren't able to do the things that we like to do. We weren't able to even, you could dream, but you couldn't act out the dream because you weren't able to, try something new. You weren't able to, if you had a plan that you wanted to do something with your life, unless you did it online, you weren't able to go out there and just get into it or get active at something else. So a lot of, creativity and, in some ways, I shouldn't say in all, because again, we're happy, at least we have online services, but a lot of things shifted, a lot of things stopped, and that brought a bit of sorrow, and it brought a little bit of grief, heartache, frustration with it. And then you start to hear about the people that were actually passing from the virus, that were ill, that passed away. And day by day you hear about the people on the news, and then sadly enough then you hear about somebody, and that again kind of shocks you, and you think, wow, okay, this is real. And then you move that into then the racism that's in the air, that's everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean the stories are there, the accounts are there, the facts are there. People telling their experiences over their lifespan is readily there for you to listen and hear. You can hear about it. And for me as a Black person, that impacts me over and over and over and over, because every day I see something else and I'm like, my goodness, like we're like this is such a Pandora's box is open, and it's open wide. And from both sides, you're seeing the breakdowns of our society. You're seeing it from every angle. And if you're not seeing it, then something's wrong with you, or either you're in denial or you're straight up ignorant. One of the two, I don't know. But either way, then you have that, and that heaviness. That's another kind of sorrow that's kind of floating by, floating by daily, at least for me, and and around me. And then you hear about people that are passing now, that are also passing just from their own, other diseases, other things that has struck them down. And it makes you, like, you have to sit there and think about your own life, and you think of your own mortality, and you think of how, wow, I woke up today. I'm really blessed that I actually woke up today. And thinking about that, you also kind of think about, like, how am I lucky? How am I lucky to actually still be here? And am I doing enough with my life? Am I doing enough with my life? Or am I wasting my life away? These are things that kind of pop into my head. And, of course, not everybody's able to do the big things. Not everybody's able to create a foundation or create, a charity with their lives. Like, not everybody's doing those big, like, not everyone is doing those big things. And so sometimes, when you're the smaller person, you think, well, how am I affecting other people? How am I actually making a difference, right? And after thinking about, the people that have passed, and I also found out on Thursday that my other cousin, his mom passed, I kind of was thinking, do we really have to do a lot with our lives? Or do we just have to be? Like, right? Like, do we have to do a ton of things with our lives? Or do we just have to be? Like, gratitude is the biggest thing that we must at least acknowledge every day. Like, to be grateful that we're still here, and to know that we still have purpose, and to know that somehow, some way, our work isn't done, right? And to honor those that are gone, to remember them, to remember their spirit, to remember their, maybe their message, while they were here, and to not be so desensitized as to see it as a number. Because I know right now we're in a time, for me, at least I feel this, that everybody's desensitized. We see all the numbers of people, passing away with COVID, and you hear the number, but you don't add up. That's another body. That's another human being. That's another body. That's another mother, father, daughter, cousin, baby, child, grandfather, grandparent. It's another body. If you were to look at all these bodies, it would shock us, right? But yet there's people that are still not really absorbing what that really means. When you see someone get ripped out of a car and they're smashed to the ground by an officer, and and attacked in a brutal way, people think, well, what did they do? Because we're desensitized. Like, we're so desensitized to not realize that that's not okay. Like, that's a person. That's a real person just like you. And, and that's, I kind of think that's sad that we're in this kind of place, this kind of society where even as easy as putting on a mask and being told to put on a mask, people are up in arms about that, saying my right. It's my right to, decide not to. It's my right. It's my right for everything. Because again, they're desensitized to not realize that pleasure should not come over understanding and reasoning and logic, like, somehow in our society, we have gone so far in the abyss where it's all about what we want, when we want it. Oh, well, someone's gone, but that wasn't me, so it's okay. And it's sad, right? So I kind of just, as much as I want to, I try every day to have a bigger hope in life, and a bigger, try to get excited for possibilities. I also can't dismiss the fact that truly heartbreaking, hard things are happening, and, truly people are suffering, families are suffering, from people gone. Family are suffering, from loss of jobs and loss of businesses, and um, just heartbreaking things that are happening. And it's a time where you have to struggle with your perception of the future. Like I struggle with what the future holds, because I don't know what it holds. I really don't. And I am optimistic in my heart, as that's kind of where my stance is in life. But it's still very hard to dismiss real things that are happening on our streets, real things that are happening in our lives, with people around us. And I kind of just wanted to say that we have to be empathetic, and we might not understand everybody, and we might not be there ourselves, but we can't forget those that are gone, and we can't just dismiss people as just numbers, because they're just not numbers. They had passion, and they had hope, and they had innovation, and they had ideas, and they had families, and passions, and they had I'm sure hopes for a long, long life that might have been cut short. So I just wanted to say, take the time today to be kind, to be generous, to be loving, to be there with those that matter, and say to them that you love them and that you care about them, and to just be observant, and to lift, if we can lift each other, that's the best thing we could possibly do at a time like this. Anyways, happy Sunday, and take care and be well. Bye.